Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode from Get in Football. This is gonna be the match review of United versus Chelsea, which took place yesterday in the FA Cup or semi-final. A chance to play Arsenal in the cup final. United won, Chelsea 3. Poor performance, lethargic performance, horrible performance. And these three terms which I've used are an understatement. It was a very poor display. I was not confident we are definitely gonna win because we were gonna play our bench, but it was an absolute thrashing. We got schooled. Lampard schooled Ole Gunnar Solskjaer yesterday. We're going to be talking about that, the tactics, the formation, the lineups. Going to be also talking about, the very major point of discussion, David De Gea's future, and where the team goes from here. The morale's low. It was a crushing defeat yesterday. So yeah, let's begin. Before that, guys, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do it. It helps a lot. It motivates us to make more and more content, and please do give the video a like. So let's start, everybody. First of all, let's get the lineups in, which were picked by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Frank Lampard yesterday. Lampard went with a 3-4-3, three centre backs in Zuma, Rudiger, and Azpilicueta. Reece James and Marcus Alonso as the wing backs, Mateo Kovacic, Jorginho marshalling the midfield, Mason Mount given a free role, Olivier Giroud playing as the centre forward, and Willian playing as a winger. Well, now let's come to United. First and foremost, why did we play a 3-5-2 yesterday? We are doing well with a 4-1-2-3 or a 4-2-3-1, depending if Matic plays or not. We have been doing great, but I didn't understand the point of picking a 3-5-2 yesterday. First and foremost, Eric Bailly, Maguire and Lindelof. Poor. Everyone was poor. Okay. Eric Bailly played only 40 minutes, but he looked confused. Every time Eric Bailly had the ball, there was chaos, calamity, if you know what we can say. And he got injured. It was a horrific injury. Hopefully he recovers well. And the clatter of heads between Bailly and Maguire. After that, I don't know what happened to Harry Maguire. Because the fact is that ever since then, he was off the game. He had Giroud in his back pocket up to then. After that, our centre backs got toyed around. They got played around. We didn't start the game off particularly well from the beginning, but after a point, we were just done. We just wanted to, end the match and just go back to Old Trafford for the next game. It literally felt like that. Tactically, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer won't even get a 0. If there's a number lesser than 0 in ratings, I would give that. Why? First things, when you play a 3-5-2, you expect your wing backs to bomb forward. You expect them to create chances. Brandon Williams and Wan-Bissaka, they were poor. They were honestly poor. Wan-Bissaka, he provided nothing going forward, and when he had the ball, he got pressed by Chelsea, and we know he's a bit suspect of, when he's on the ball, and Chelsea exploited that. He gave away the ball many times. Brandon Williams, great work. Kudos to him. He came back when the team needed him. He put his hand up, played, and I get, if we played a 3-5-2, I get why Brandon Williams was picked ahead of Timothy Fosu-Mensah, because Fosu-Mensah doesn't offer us much going forward. Brandon Williams does. But yesterday that didn't happen. He was poor. Brandon Williams didn't have a good game. And our wing backs didn't do much. On the contrary, Chelsea's wing backs in Reece James and Marcus Alonso caused havoc. They literally, they were creating chances after chances. Crosses were coming in every 5 minutes you had one of them putting in a decent cross inside. And Aspi and Reece James kind of interchanging when they reach the final third. Aspi sometimes going out a bit wide and crossing the balls in. Lampard's plans were up, his tactics they were perfect. Whatever he had planned, it went exactly according to plan. We have beaten Chelsea thrice this season, but that doesn't mean that we just stick to the same formation with which we beat Chelsea in the last game. That's not how things work, right? Lampard literally schooled Ole Gunnar Solskjaer yesterday. Nothing else. I have nothing else to say except one more criticism. Okay, Southampton, Crystal Palace, and this game. All the three games, what's common? Not that we have played mediocre football, agreed, but we can't get the ball out from the back confidently enough. We cannot. And this has been the case for quite a while now. De Gea's distribution is not great. Wan-Bissaka, Brandon Williams, Harry Maguire, Victor Lindelof, all have struggled in the last 3 games to get the ball out. Now, if you know that you're not gonna get over the Chelsea press by passing the ball out, what can you do? You can look to play a long ball up front. But now, where will De Gea play the long ball to? Whom will he play it to? Rashford, Dan James? Do you seriously expect them to hold the ball? I don't. That's what happened. Whenever, once or twice De Gea tried to get the ball long, none of them could hold the ball. Because they are up against Rudiger, Zouma and Azpilicueta. Do you think these two are good enough to hold the ball? No, they were not. We didn't have Martial playing anyway. This is where I thought Ighalo should have started. If you are playing a 3-5-2 system and you know you're not great at passing the ball out from the back, you need someone like an Ighalo. He would do the job of what Giroud did for Chelsea. Hold the ball and spread it out to the wings. Giroud did that, and we didn't have anyone to do. We didn't have anyone to hold the ball up that way. And as we could not pass out on the back, James Rashford didn't get the service they required. James was anyway poor. Whenever he got the ball, he looked confused, he looked dazzled. He didn't know what's going on. James was very poor, and it's not all up to him. He was not used in the right way yesterday, is what I feel. Should have been used as a winger. Would have caused Alonso lots of problems if that was the case, because Alonso is suspect defensively. He's not very great. Dan James, with that speed, could have caused problems. Simply, we should have played a normal 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1, 4-1-2-3, whatever. But we needed three attackers, 3 wingers. We had Bruno playing as a false 9 at times, as an LCM at times, as an RCM at times. He was everywhere. He was literally trying to do everything by himself. He was the only spark in the entire team yesterday. Everyone else was honestly poor. Horrible. Our centre backs were horrible. You let Rudiger score a goal like that. He's not a striker, he's a defender. That goal there is a poacher's finish. You see Lukaku and all scoring such goals. Those are poacher's goals. And he gets in between the 2 centre backs and scores. Both were poor yesterday. Maguire and Lindelof, very poor. But there was one more very important talking point. The centre of attraction, this man here. What to do? Does De Gea stay? Does he leave? Is he our first choice? Is he going to be a second choice? Does Dean Henderson come back? So many things to talk about. Horrible mistake yesterday. His poor form continues. And by poor form, what I mean is guys like David De Gea, yeah, he has been making phenomenal saves many times this season, but the basic ones he has messed up, and we have seen this a lot this season. I distinctly remember. I remember Watford. I remember Everton twice. I remember yesterday. I remember Tottenham. Yeah, these are many, right? There are like 4 to 5 errors leading to direct goals. You can't have that from a keeper. I mean, we there's a good chance we'll recall Dean Henderson next year, make these two compete for the spot. I still feel De Gea has a lot left in him. He's just 29. This is not even an age where we can be like, he's getting old, that's why reflexes are bad. No, his reflexes are not an issue. Just that there's something playing on in his mind. He messes up the easy ones. He's not commanding enough in the box. I still have faith in De Gea. I will stick to De Gea if I was Manchester United, but I would probably consider getting Dean Henderson back in from loan after the end of the season, so that he competes with De Gea for the number 1 spot. Right now, De Gea knows that he's Ole's number 1. Even if he messes up, Ole does make him play. I don't know what will happen in the West Ham game. Will Ole actually play Romero? I feel he should, honestly speaking. I feel he should. De Gea's not looking great right now. He had a brilliant game against Palace, but he's messing up the easy ones, and the Mason Mount's goal, I mean, that was a routine save. That was nothing. Ever since Cristiano Ronaldo did him in the World Cup, the 3-3 draw, Spain-Portugal, since then De Gea has been poor, and I'm being honest. There might be lots of things like the contract situation up to now when he got the contract. 3 goalkeeping coaches got changed in that period. No stability, agreed. But these mistakes are not acceptable, And if this continues going on, he won't be the first choice next season. It's a fact. We will get Dean Henderson in back after his loan spell is over at Sheffield, where he has been phenomenal, and he will compete with David De Gea for the spot, is what I feel. But to his credit, we are the second best defense in the league. People criticize Aaron Wan-Bissaka. People not criticize, they say he's overrated. People criticize Harry Maguire. People criticize Victor Lindelof. And people obviously criticize David De Gea. If everyone is bad, how on earth do we have the second best defense in the league? I want an answer. It's not a joke, right? The league is not 5 or 10 games where you can be lucky. It's a period of 38 games. And we are still the second best defense in the league. Stats speak for themselves. He makes errors, but he makes saves which are incredible, which other goalkeepers cannot. I repeat, they cannot. Giving an example of the Everton game where he made a horrible mistake and Calvert-Lewin pounced on it. The same game. I remember he made 3 to 4 saves which any other goalkeeper would let in. And that game ended in a 1-1 draw. But people will only look at the point where he messed up. Yeah? That's what it is as a goalkeeper. Because as a midfielder, if you mess up, you have the defense to wipe up the mess. As a goalkeeper, if you mess up, you don't have anyone behind you. You take all the blame. That's what's going on with David De Gea. I really hope he strikes back soon. I want him to be what he has been for us. He's like a god to all the United fans. Without him, in the last 7 to 8 seasons, we would be in the bottom half of the table for at least 4 to 5 of them. And I'm being honest. It's a fact. I really hope he finds his form back and we want the old David back. We can't see this. This is poor. This is absolutely poor from David De Gea. Yeah, that's all about De Gea. We have a game coming up against West Ham midweek, which we have to win. Leicester dropped points yesterday. They lost 3-0, which means they're level with us on goal difference. But they're ahead of us in the table because they've scored more goals than us. So head-to-head doesn't matter in the Premier League. That's the next thing which matters, goals scored. Well, if we have 2 draws in the next 2 games, we are through. We get top 4. If we lose both the games, we are pretty much out. And we might, if we win one and we lose one, we still might make it. But you don't want to take such risks. Just go out there, win the next 2 games, assure top 4, give the players a rest, and maybe rest the key players for the Europa League is what I'm saying. Not all of them need to travel to Lisbon not Lisbon, where are they playing it? Germany? Not all of them need to travel if we get top 4. Would be great to get the Europa League trophy. A trophy in the cabinet is always a positive thing, but we need top 4. That's the priority. Jadon Sancho, the links are getting stronger. There was an interview with Jadon Sancho where he said that he doesn't know what might happen in the future. He's just waiting for now and taking things one step at a time. And if he was really looking forward to stay in Dortmund, he would be like, I'm happy at Dortmund. And this is, he would say something like that. But he never mentioned that. So I really feel he's going to move. I really hope he's going to come here. But a small thing is we require Champions League football. Because Chelsea is going to go there and buy Kai Havertz now. That attack is looking dangerous. Not kidding. Werner, Ziyech, Pulisic, Kai Havertz. Imagine that. Say Werner up front, Pulisic left wing, Ziyech right wing, and Kai Havertz playing as number 10. Boom. Yeah. And we guys are celebrating when we sign a keeper. We have, United signed a keeper in the summer window. No, it's a winter window. Bruno Fernandes and a keeper, Nathan Bishop. Man, we have De Gea, we have Romero, we have Lee Grant. Now we signed a keeper. There's Dean Henderson on loan at Sheffield. Why don't you strengthen some other positions? I don't get it. I really don't. We need signings to bulk up because the bench of this club is poor. We saw that yesterday in the game. Pogba didn't start, Martial didn't start, Luke Shaw didn't start. And we saw what happened. Eric Bailly started. Poor. We saw. There's no depth. That's why I feel Jadon Sancho has to be the priority, no doubt. And after that, we need someone to challenge Pogba and Bruno, because if one of them picks up an injury, the entire season's gone. Bruno's next backup is Andreas Pereira. Paul Pogba's is Fred or McTominay. Fred or McTominay are good. They're tenacious. They fight. Yeah, they're not someone who are poor. I'm not saying that, but they can't do what Pogba can. They can't they can't break the lines. They can't get the ping. They can't ping long balls. They're good. They're tenacious, but we don't have a clear replacement. We need these. We need to strengthen the squad. Our defense, we were looking forward to Axel Tuanzebe coming through, so because he's a quick, pacey centre back and he's good, could be a great, great partner with Harry Maguire or Victor Lindelof, because both are slow. We need a pacey centre back. He got injured. He's been in the hospital for about a year, which is where most of the United players are for most of the time. Phil Jones as well. He got an injury during lockdown. How do you get injured at home? I don't understand. But okay, anyway. That's all. Hopefully we get the win against West Ham. We need 3 points. We need top 4. Top 4 will get us Jadon Sancho, is what I'm saying. I feel he's going to come to United 60%. If we get top 4, I make that 80%. Maybe 90%. We need top 4. It's crucial. Yeah, disappointing result. We move and hopefully we come up with a much better performance, and this 3-5-2 never gets used again. Never. No matter what. Yeah. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Please do subscribe, comment your opinions on the game. Please do drop in a like, everybody. Thanks for watching.